Welcome back to this channel. In today's presentation, we'll be discussing pseudostratified columnar epithelium. We'll be looking at its structure, its function, its location, and histological identification. Now, what is pseudostratified columnar epithelium? As its name implies, pseudo means false, stratified multiple layer, columnar the shape of the cell. So combining these many together is a single layer of epithelial cells which appear stratified, but they are not because the nuclei are located at different levels. They look multilayered, but all the cells are in contact with the basement membrane, and not all of them reach the apical surface, or we know as free surface. Okay, here in this slide we can see a typical example of pseudostratified columnar epithelium. Firstly, let's locate the basement membrane. This line is the basement membrane where the cells rest on, and this place is where we can see the apical surfaces as been described in the first and second slide. We said that the pseudostratified cells does not reach the apical surfaces. You can see that none of the pseudostratified columnar cells reach the apical surfaces, and we can see the nucleus. They are located at different levels, some at the middle, some at the top of the cells, some down of the cells. So this forms a stratified layers, but they are not. So that's why it called pseudo stratified epithelial cells. In the following slides, we'll also locate other features, histology features in this pseudo stratified epithelial cells. Now let's look at the general features of this epithelium. This epithelial is made up of a tall columnar cells with nuclei at varying heights or varying levels. There's a presence of cilia on the apical surface, especially in the respiratory type, and the presence of goblet cells which secrete mucus. And the basement membrane in this epithelium is clearly defined, which supports the epithelial layer. Under the light microscope with H and E staining, the nuclei appear oval to elongated, unevenly arranged. That is, they lie at different levels, giving a false stratified appearance. The cytoplasm is slightly stained. Then in the respiratory type, that is the trachea, cilia can be seen on the apical surface, and beneath the epithelium, after the basement membrane, lies the lamina propria. Next, we'll be looking at the types of pseudostratified columnar epithelium. We have the ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium. Then we have the non-ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And the ciliated type, which is found on the respiratory tract, um, there's the presence of cilia. We'll look at the function of cilia in the next slides. And in the non-ciliated type, which is commonly seen in the part of the main reproductive system, such as the epididymis, there's the presence of stereocilia. So we look at the function of the cilia and the stereocilia. Now, after identifying the the type of the epithelium, you must also know where it's commonly located. This type of pseudostratified epithelial tissue is located in the trachea, in the bronchi, the nasal cavity, the upper respiratory tract, uh, where it plays an important protective role. Why uh, The non-ciliated type of pseudostratified epithelium is found in the epididymis. Now let's see the photomicrograph of the non-ciliated pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Here we can see where this red point is pointing to. This is the basement membrane, yes, where the cell rests on, and this is the apical surface, the free surface. Then we can see the nuclei is located at different level, which make it appear to be a uh, stratified or multi-layered, but they are not. Then we can see at the apical surface, we can see some hair-like structure. They are here, hair-like structure, hair-like structure, like a faint line on top of the apical surface. This is what we call the stereocilia. Stereocilia. So in these closed brackets, is where we can see our pseudo stratified columnar epithelium. Here we are having an interactive section. It's a minor quiz. I want you to answer this quiz and put your answer at the comment section. What is C? Look at where the C is pointing to. What is C? Where is A pointing to? What is A? And B, what type of tissue is this? And give reason for your answer. You can put your answer in the comment section. Please, I want you to participate and know that I should be able to know that you are getting along with what I'm saying. On this slide, we are observing a section of ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium, typically found lining the respiratory tract, such as the trachea. Starting from the free edge facing the lumen, we can see the apical surface. The apical surface bear numerous cilia. Cilia look like a hair-like structure. So the apical surface bear numerous cilia. These cilia are, um, they move, they are a moving structure and they beat in a coordinated manner to move mucus trapped particles out of the respiratory passages. Then there's another structure scattered among the columnar cells are the goblet cells. These are the goblet cells. These are the goblet cells. They appear transparent. They are mucus secreting cells, and the mucus they produce help to trap dust, microorganisms, and other inhaled particles. The epithelial cells appear to be arranged, you can see them, they appear to be arranged in multiple layers because the nuclei um, lies at different levels or different layers. But this is actually a pseudo-stratified arrangement. All the cells are in contact with the basement membrane. This is the basement membrane. They are all in contact with the basement membrane, even though not all of them reach the no, not all of them reach the lumen, or not all of them reach the apical surface. The basement membrane, since seen as the basal region, provides structural support and anchors the epithelium to the underlying connective tissue. So the key identifying structure in these slides are the presence of cilia on the apical surface, goblet, nuclei at different level, the pseudo-stratified arrangement of the columnar cells. Functionally, this epithelium is specialized for protection and mucociliary clearance in the respiratory system. This section shows the pseudostratified epithelial tissue. I want you to use this few minutes to look at the slides very well. Look at the presence of goblet cells. These are the goblet cells. They are numerous at the columnar cells. In between, they are sometimes in between the columnar cells. The cilia, which is on top of the apical surfaces. Then you can see there's a cilia cells. The cilia cell are on top of the cilia. You understand? And this is the what the pseudostratified columnar epithelial cells. This is an 100 magnification of trachea. I want you at the comment section answer this quiz and give me the names of the following question or following label. A. What it is. B. What it is. C. What is it is. D. What it is. Let's look at this and explain what they are. Now let's look at the functions of the pseudostratified epithelial cells. The major function includes secretion of mucus by goblet cells, trapping in air particles, and movement of mucus by coordinated beating of cilia. These mechanisms help to keep up the respiratory passage clean and protected. So what are the specialized cells of the pseudostratified columnar epithelium? We have the goblet cells, we have the ciliated cells. Goblet cells help to secrete mucus, while ciliated cells help to move the mucus, like movement of mucus. Then the basal cells are seen in the basement membrane, helps in regeneration of the epithelium. Then we also have stereocilia, especially in the epididymis, the male reproductive cells. They are long, non-mobile. They are actin-based apical projection of the pseudostratified columnar epithelium. Despite their name, they are not true cilia and do not beat. So, unlike the ciliated type of pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Now, looking at the identification tips that can help you in your exam practical or in your practical class. To identify this epithelium in histology section, look for nuclei at different levels, cilia on the apical surface, and goblet cells mixed in between the columnar cells. Always remember that despite its stratified appearance, it is a single layer structure resting on the basement membrane. And this type of epithelium, also known as pseudostratified columnar epithelium, is commonly seen lining the trachea or the upper respiratory tract, while the non-ciliated type lines the epididymis, one of the main reproductive system. Now, looking at the clinical relevance of pseudostratified columnar epithelium in chronic smokers, the cilia are damaged and may be lost. Hence, this leads to reduced mucociliary clearance and accumulation of mucus, which increases the risk of respiratory infection and chronic bronchitis. So that is why it is being said that smokers are liable to die young, because this will also affect the lung. So they are liable to die young. So disease from smoking. Okay, we have come to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you for watching, for taking your time to watch and learn from this video. I really appreciate. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, it's the time for you to subscribe like and click the notification bell. Subscribe to this channel. See you next time. Bye.